Shalom, family. Shalom. I know I'm a little late on this one because of my last live stream that I just did, but I'm glad you're here. And we are going to get started in just a few moments here. All right. So, let me get this here. All right. All right. Why this is slow. All right, we'll get started in a few moments here. Just trying to get set up. All right, let me see if I can just pull it up in here. Okay, come on now. Okay. Okay. All right, so we're going to go over a recent article that came out on, well, let me close that, on population growth in America. That's what we're going to cover. Get the avatar. Oh, here we go. All right, I am ready. Okay. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, everybody, welcome to the chat. Welcome. It's good to see you all. Okay, I got it. Okay. All right, y'all, please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Let me see who's this. Chima Madhu, thank you so much. New study shows that most low-wage workers can't afford a 1-bedroom apartment. Yes, I did a video on that. Anywhere in this country. Meanwhile, billionaires are going to space. Yeah, what a waste of time, right? Okay, thank you so much, y'all. All right, let's get started. All right. I put this up because I want you all to see the life expectancy in your states. And this is where it stands now. Now, there was population growth according to the 2020 census. And I know some of you did not like the people of color, but the bottom line is that's how it's written in the report that came out of the census. So I was just kind of staying consistent with that. I don't like that mess either. So let's get started. This is Brookings. And this came out on July 19th, 2021. All recent U.S. population growth comes from people of color, new census estimate shows. So as we await the final 2020 census statistics for America, race and ethnicity populations due later this summer. So they're going to be releasing more information later on. Newly released Census Bureau estimates compiled independently of the 2020 census suggests something unprecedented. And 2010 could be the first decade when the nation first population registered as an absolute loss. So the white population for the first time is registering this decade as an absolute loss. And I may have to show y'all another chart, but let me just get through this. And then I'm going to show you a chart that they came out with that will show losses in the white population. And they're significant losses, y'all. These are not little losses at all. These new estimates show an annual population changes by race and ethnicity between July 2010 and July 2020. They indicate that for each year since 2016, the nation's white population dropped in size. Thus, all of US population growth from 2016 to 2020 comes from gains in people of color. So any non-whites in the country had gains. These statistics extend and update a trend revealed in the data published last year and further emphasize why the diversity profile of the US population is rising rapidly. This is especially the case for the nation's younger population. And there is something else that I probably will do live stream over the weekend. For the first time in US history, ladies and gentlemen, Black workers outnumber white workers. And I'm going to have that coming out real soon for y'all. And that was published this week. So the changes are rapid. They know it. That's why they're acting out the way that they are. They know these changes are there. They're fully aware of it. They're not acting crazy for no reason. They know the change is there. All right. All right, so this is especially the case for the nation's younger population, which experienced the greatest white population losses. Remember, their last biggest population within their group are the baby boomers. All of the generations after that are way, way smaller. All right. The statistics also imply that as the white population ages and declines further, racial and ethnicity diversity will be the hallmark demographic feature of America's younger generation, including Gen Z and those that follow. Earlier population estimates have shown that 2010's decade, especially in the later years, was one of historic low population growth. This was the result of declining fertility, increased mortality, and a slowdown of immigration from abroad. Now, these folks, when they tell you, this is what they always write in articles. Oh, women are just waiting later to have babies. No, y'all are having fertility problems. That is a known fact. You're having fertility problems. And they use that women are waiting later stuff just to mask and disguise what the real problem is. The former two trends are especially characteristic of the nation's white population, who are aging more rapidly than other groups. So I need to show you a chart. Hold on one second. I'm just going to take this off of sharing for a brief moment because I really want you to see this chart. Let's see here. All right. Let's see if I can get this to come up. All right. Come on now. Let me see if I can pull another one up. Wow, come on now. All right, here we go. It's finally moving. Okay, let's see if we can get this. I'm going to see if I can zoom in so it's big enough on the screen for all of you to see it. Here we go. All right. Okay. Yep. All right, let me share my screen again. I got it. Thank you, Black Cobra Ninja 5. This is music to my ears. I hear you. Oh, man. All right. All right. Take a look at this chart. This is one that came out from Metropolitan Policy Program at the Brookings. And as you can see, when you look at the white category, they've had losses for 1, 2, 3, 4 years. And the biggest loss in their population occurred between 2019 and 2020. But as you can see, this is why they say people of color. All other groups had gains. All other groups, nobody went into the negative except for them. They're the only ones that went into the negative out of every group here in America. So trust me, they're fully aware of this. They are. And you remember the garbage that Joe Biden said that pretty soon his people are going to be in a minority and we'll have to go to Hispanics to get things done, and which is bullshit. We ain't never had to go. You give us an example of when we had to go to Hispanics. If y'all don't go somewhere and sit down with your lies. So anyway, we have never, did we need to go to Hispanics when we were going through chattel slavery? How about Jim Crow? How about Reconstruction? Did we need to go to them then? How about civil rights? Did we need to go to them then? Okay, then shut the hell up. All right. Okay, so earlier population estimates shown that the 2010s decade, especially its earlier years, was one of historic low population growth. So you can see the former two trends are especially characteristics of the nation's white population, and what I've read that, who are aging rapidly. And okay, so you can see figure 1 on the screen shows an annual white population losses over the 4 years between 2016, 2017, 2019, and 2020. Okay, so 129,000, 252,000, 290,000, 482,000. Together, this loss is more than 1 million white people, outweighs the white population gains of the decades 6 earlier years, leading to a likely first ever decade decline of the nation's white population when the final 2020 census are tallied. But you know what? I saw an article back in 2019 that said, at least this one writer said they knew when this census count came up, it was going to be really bad for the white population. That's what they said. And I remember reading that, and the person said it's going to really look bad. The losses are going to look bad. They weren't lying. In contrast, non-white race and ethnicity groups increased in size over the years of the decade and were responsible for all of the nation's population growth between 2016 and 2020. Latino or Hispanic Americans led all groups with annual gains approaching 1 million a year. Asians added 300,000 over in that same time period. 500,000 of their population each year, followed by Black Americans, persons identified as two or more races, and American Indians and Alaskan Natives. Like the population as a whole, the positive gains for each of these groups dropped off somewhat in recent years. Even so, the large growth of people of color as a group reduced the white share of the total population from 63.8% to 59.7% between July 2010 and July 2020. The 2020 census is likely to show for the first time the more than 4 in 10 Americans identify with groups of color. So it's going to be more people identifying as non-white in America when the final outcome is given on the U.S. Census. Now, I know many of us were not interested in the census, but I have to admit, this is very significant what we're looking at. You know, things are changing rapidly, and who knows what it's going to be like in another decade, because the baby boomers, a lot of them are up in age. And you see how they're dropping out of the job market. And I was, and I did a video that said, even if everybody was out there working, it would always be a bunch of open positions that baby boomers left behind that probably will never get filled. So, wow, what a difference. What a difference. You want to see who got judgment on them? Just look at what's happening to their population. You know, that's all you got to do. I mean, this is unbelievable what's going on. Thank you, Black Voltron Reloaded, for the super chat. In the immortal words of the late Robin Harris, gotta go, gotta go. Okay. Okay. Oh, man. Thank you, De Taurus, for the super chat. Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on. And like I said, there's one that said right now in the workforce in America, more Black people are currently out in the job market than white. And they said, this ain't going to change. It's not going to change. And this is the first time this has happened this year. So even if they all go out there working, it's still going to be more of us out there in the job market because they just don't have the numbers like they used to. So I'm going to be doing that video real soon. I might do it in a live stream over the weekend. Wow. So, yes, I mean, that makes a difference, especially from the one you saw 10 years ago. But you know what they revealed? If y'all really think back, they revealed a lot of this, especially just before Donald Trump took office. I remember there was a big article about what a big decline in the white population that had happened in America. But when you see stuff like this, it is far worse than anything you could imagine. Their drop, it is far worse. Yeah, but you know what? It's not going to be just a job market. It's going to be schools too. It's going to be more of our children in the schools than theirs, because they just don't have enough children. It's not enough. Yakab, you're absolutely right. That is explaining why they're scared and running amok. You're right about that. Thanks, Chris Shakur Yafi. Um, Shalom, Lisa, and the children of Zion. Shalom to you too. Yeah, you know what? The detourists, they are doing the same thing around here. They have closed so many schools. When I was growing up, the schools were all open. It was so many of us, it was so many kids in my generation. They had to have all of these schools opened up. Now you can drive by several schools in my area and they are closed because it's just not enough children. Thank you, C. Harrelson, for the super sticker. Thank you. Michelle Harvey, if you are against race mixing, I got a video coming out that's going to make your blood boil, woman. It's going to make your blood boil. I'm gonna do that one in a premiere. It's so good. There's about two I'm gonna do in a premiere today. So y'all look for those videos, and they're both gonna make you mad. But the one is gonna make your blood boil. I think I have actually found the coon of the century on this one. I think this one tops Candace Owens, Jesse Lee Peterson, Larry Elder, you know, all the ones we know. This one tops all of that. Okay. And I didn't even think that was possible, but it is. All right, y'all. I got to get to putting out my premieres. Please be on the lookout for those, ladies and gentlemen. And till the next time we come together, which is tomorrow, I got another one. Shalom, family.